This story unfolds in the quaint French town of Ornzy, just before Christmas, a time when the dreams of pure-hearted souls come to life and fate appears to weave its own miracles. Caleb Mitchell, 12, attended school just a block away from his home, which he walked to every day from their lovely family residence. He cherished his town, finding joy in exploring the same streets and discovering new details each day. Every morning, his mother, Celeste, prepared his lunch with care, believing that homemade food was far healthier than what could be purchased in the cafeteria. All Caleb needed to do was buy tea or juice to complete his meal. However, 2 weeks before Christmas, Celeste noticed something unusual. Caleb was consuming large portions of food after school. "It seems my son is growing. He must need more to eat," she thought, so she bought him a larger lunchbox. Yet, nothing changed. The boy was practically devouring food after school. Ellen, Caleb's teacher, was confused. For more than a week now, at lunchtime, the boy had stayed in the classroom. When she asked why he wasn't eating, the boy would tell different stories. It turned out that he suddenly forgot to bring lunch from home or had already eaten it before. The teacher wondered what was going on. She knew the boy's mother and thought she was a fairly wealthy and responsible woman. Still, she decided to call the woman. It was not acceptable for a child to be hungry at school for the whole day. When Celeste heard that her son hadn't eaten lunch at school all week, she was shocked. But how could that be? After all, I had packed him cutlets, rice, sandwiches, or something delicious every day. She thanked the teacher and promised that the next day, Caleb would be sure to come to school with food. But the next day, the teacher still saw the boy's empty lunchbox. She couldn't stand it, so she picked up the phone to call his mother. The boy became nervous and began to ask her not to call his mother. He admitted that he was giving his food to someone, but Ellen could get nothing more out of him. Then she quietly called the boy's mother and told her everything. At first, I thought he was having his food taken away by someone, but it turned out he was just giving it to someone else. But to whom? I don't know. I haven't been able to find out. Okay, let's follow him together tomorrow. I'll call you when my son leaves the house. I'll sneak after him to the cathedral, and then you will follow him. The women agreed to find out the truth. In the morning, Celeste pulled out a new lunchbox. Upon seeing it, Caleb was visibly happy. "Son, I thought you were short on food, so I decided to get a bigger lunchbox." "Yes, Mom, maybe. Thank you." The pleased boy almost ran off to school. Celeste called the teacher and, hiding, ran after her son. Not far from the cathedral, the woman suddenly saw a surprising sight. Her boy crouched on a box next to a poor girl who seemed to be begging for alms. He opened his lunchbox and the girl greedily began to eat. Celeste understood. She called the teacher and said she would come to the school and tell her everything. The intrigued teacher was waiting for her at the front door. Celeste told her everything. The two women wept, and Ellen invited her student's mother into the classroom. The lesson was about to begin when Caleb's mother entered the classroom with the teacher. The students stared at the woman expectantly. The teacher said, "My dears, the bright holiday of Christmas is coming. God teaches us to be especially attentive during these days to our loved ones and to all the people we see around us. I heard you giggling about our Caleb coming to school without food. In fact, he set us an example of sincere love for all people. He used to give his food to a poor, hungry girl and then go without his lunch." All the children were amazed to learn why Caleb willingly went hungry. The teacher continued, "I want to say, on behalf of myself and all of you, thanks to his mom for raising a wonderful son. And now, let's all give them a hug together." The children jumped up from behind their desks with delighted faces, and soon Celeste and a blushing Caleb were in their circle. The next day, Caleb's mother wanted to meet the girl herself. It turned out that her parents had died a year before, and she was living with a very old grandmother. The grandmother had to spend a lot of money on medicine and food. Therefore, when it was very bad, the girl asked for money from passersby. Celeste invited the girl to visit them for Christmas with her grandmother, but fate had slightly different plans for the girl. When Celeste shared the story with her friend, she was very sympathetic to the girl and the old lady who had to carry a heavy burden. I mean, she can't even give her a proper education. "Yes, indeed," replied Celeste. After a while, the thoughtful friend left. She had to discuss a crucial matter with her spouse. On Christmas Eve, the woman arrived at the girl's address with her husband. They invited the old woman and the girl to join them for Christmas. The grandmother hesitated for a long time, but the charming, smiling couple still managed to talk her into it. When they got out of the car outside the city, they saw a luxurious two-story mansion towering behind a high fence and beautiful wrought iron gates. The poor old lady and her granddaughter went inside in awe. The great hall downstairs was decorated for Christmas. When everyone was seated at the table, the mistress of the house stood up excitedly. "Dear guests, my spouse and I are fortunate to live in great prosperity, yet we have never had children or relatives. Therefore, we invite you to become part of our family. To ensure that you will always have a place in our home, we will formalize our kinship legally. The little girl will be our daughter, and you, madam, will be our cherished grandmother. Do you accept this offer?" The old woman gazed in astonishment at the wealthy couple before her, and tears filled her eyes. Everyone rushed to comfort her. In that moment, she realized she could finally feel secure about her granddaughter's future, while the local millionaires felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing they had found a family. The Christmas miracle initiated by Caleb had come to fruition. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your loved ones, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you.